Hey, fellow Mouseketeers and film buffs, it's England here, and today I saw The Lion King. Yes, had to do it. Figured, okay, could talk about it on this channel as well as the Extreme Movie Channel. Our movie channel is. So I thought this could be a twofer with me tonight, as usual. You know what? I said I was going to do it. I did it anyway. With me tonight, as always, is Dalton.
Yes, hello everyone.
Yeah. So you did see this film.
I did.
Right. Yeah. Did you see the 1993 version? Did you see the original?
Of course.
Yeah. So you saw this movie.
in my generation, it was virtually impossible to not see most of the Disney Renaissance movies.
Okay. Yes, you're a kid. You were a kid back then. You.
Well, I was born in '95, so my era would have been after most of the Disney Renaissance movies have come out, so it's already established the classics, and right as the TV shows came on, so it was a really good time to be a kid, is what I'm saying.
Gotcha. I was a projectionist when this was out. I watched it and I was like, I don't get it. Beauty and the Beast was better, but this film is the one that takes all the money. I didn't understand the popularity. I understood, okay, Disney, it was an okay film, but Holy Toledo to become the biggest grossing film of all time, that kind of, I was like, where's that coming from? And
to be fair, I'm right there with you. I love a lot of the Disney Renaissance movies, but Lion King was just one that never touched me.
Yeah,
it never moved me in the way that a lot of the other ones did. But then again, neither did Beauty and the Beast, and I know that's heresy.
Yes, it is.
So
you suck.
So that should I guess it's just that in both cases I found myself more interested in what the side characters were doing. Than
Timon and Pumbaa.
And I grew up on watching reruns of the Timon and Pumbaa show on Toon Disney, so that's how that worked.
Okay, just to get this out there, so I did watch the Lion King movie, and I wrote a tweet right away, and it went something like, when I was a kid, my body stopped producing or processing water. I actually was dying of dehydration, even no matter how much water I would drink. It just would stop processing it. And I have better memories of that experience than I do of the 2 hours I spent in the theater watching Lion King. And that's the truth. That is absolutely how bad this movie is. This movie was absolutely horrendous to me. Let me put it to you this way. The best part of this film, the absolute strongest part of this movie is the fact that it is photorealistic. I mean, the CGI is awesome.
The technical aspect, yeah.
Yeah, and it's the worst part about it. I mean, it is at once the best and the worst part about it, because they wanted to capture lions realistically. Well, lions don't emote.
Lions can't give expressions.
Yeah, they do not emote. If you're following a storyline, you want to connect with a character. You can't connect with the lions in the Lion King remake. Everything is exactly the same expression. The scene where Simba sees Mufasa die, he sees fall off. They want that same thing. I mean, it is a shot-for-shot remake as well. No! And all it shows, like in the first one, his eyes get big. You could tell it's all fear. He can't believe what's happening. In this one, the face stays the same. It just like opens up a little bit. It looks like Milo and freaking Otis, or the Homeward Bound, The Incredible Journey, except it's CG rather than just filming the live animals rollicking around.
I think you just insulted two of my childhood favorite movies.
No. Those did it well. Those did it fine, because at least they used real animals. This,
that's
on
what,
the
that's
other
what
hand,
I'm saying. You just compared this piece of crap to two of my childhood favorites.
Oh, my Lord in heaven. It's useless. That's the problem. This movie does not improve on a blank screen for the same amount of time. It doesn't. It's useless. This movie is completely useless. So the film starts, And of course, it's got the opening scene. I'm thinking, okay, the music's done well. I'm digging it. You know, I like I said before, it's a beautifully made film as far as the CGI is concerned, but it's still animated. It's just a different kind of animation. We have an animated Lion King.
Yeah,
and it's a classic.
It's a technical achievement and nothing else, basically.
Yeah, as much, you know, as much as I go, well, I don't understand why it's the #1 animated film of all time for a long time. It's still a classic film, and it's still there, and it's everything. This is a shot-for-shot remake. Everything good that you could say is good about this movie is from the 1994 version. There's nothing new about this. That ticks me off more than anything. It's so cynical, Dalton. It is so freaking cynical to put this movie out the way they did, to have no inspiration to make a better story, to have no desire to fix what may have been wrong about the original, it's a cash grab, and it plays off the nostalgia of your generation and of those who are a little bit older that may now have kids they want to share this experience with. It's a flat line. It really is.
That said, it could be worse. They could have changed a bunch of crap and it wouldn't, and made it worse.
They could have this may be an instance of damned if they do, damned if they don't, but there's no joy in this movie. No, I never got the idea that anybody was enjoying themselves. Well, nope. Seth Rogen. I think Seth Rogen, I actually, when he jumps on and he's Pumbaa, I actually could hear him signing his contract. Oh, hell yes, I want to be in this. I really could.
As usual, Timon and Pumbaa are the best bit of it, and they did not waste that opportunity by miscasting Timon and Pumbaa. They casted the people you want to see in a air quotes live action Lion King.
I think he did fine. The one thing I think that he didn't do well in is the singing. If you listen to the original movie, yeah, he had the voice, the whole 9 yards, and they even played off of him not being able to sing when he went, "When I was a young warthog." But every other note in the song, he was dead on. He was on pitch. He could sing. And that's why, you know, he really stood out when he did the part. He couldn't. Seth Rogen, on the other hand, cannot.
Can't sing.
No, he cannot. But that is not just a problem with him. That's a problem all around the board. Somebody, I tweeted out a whole bunch of tweets to mention how bad I thought this film was today. And because, hold on, let me finish this thought. Let me finish this thought, and then I'll get to you. Okay. So I made all these tweets. I'm going to an escape room today, and part of me now hopes we never do. And I had the Lion King poster. They started off bad with Alice in Wonderland. They just kept getting worse and worse. That was one of them as well. I am described, and this is true, as the easygoing one on Extreme Movie Show. And this movie is the cinematic version of taking a hot shower with 6 cats strapped to your body. ISIS quit terrorism because there's no bigger bomb that could be dropped on this country than this movie. And this is the kind of bad that inspires superheroes to take up the battle against evil. Those were my quotes. And this sucked. Not in a "why did you go? We all knew it was going to suck" knee-jerk reaction, but in a true "it will make 90s kids cry." It destroys the child in all of us. Those were my reviews right after I'd seen the movie, and I stand by those statements.
You seem to have the reaction with this movie that I had with Aladdin earlier this year. This movie made me sad, but I don't feel it insulted me. That said, there are some things I will not be forgiving it for, like, what the heck was wrong with the singing for the entire gosh darn movie?
Oh my gosh, Beyonce was the only singer in the group. Seriously. And they were singing "Can You See the Love Tonight" in the middle of the afternoon. It's in the title. Can you feel a freaking love tonight? They sing it in the afternoon. It's in the daytime. What the f are you talking about? Honestly, You're in the freaking broad daylight. This is not something that just, what the hell? How can you get that part of the, well, we're going to have this thing
in the air, anyone? Yeah, definitely.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, wait a second, it's broad freaking daylight. It's called Can You Feel the Love Tonight. There's at some point in time when you were editing, and it's Favreau, man. He made Jungle Book. He made the one that I find tolerable. And even that one's kind of silly, but still, it was the one that was tolerable, man. He made that one, and this is what you follow it up. When I heard he was doing Lion King, I was like, oh, okay, well, he did Jungle Book. This might actually be interesting. Oh, at some point in editing, John, did you look and go, you know, it is daylight, and we're doing a song called Can You See the Love Tonight? Can you bring the lights down a little bit? Oh.
Also, like, be prepared, anyone, because it was there for like 5 seconds.
Thankfully, that was a mercy killing. That was a freaking mercy killing. You know, I love Etewald Echetobugabaza, whatever his name is. I can never pronounce it. Thank you. He was great in Firefly, 12 Years a Slave. The man's a great actor, but he cannot sing with a gun at his head. He could not do it. It was horrible. And I was like, oh my God, it's that talk singing. So be prepared for the coup of a century. And then you would hear the music in the background.
Yeah, unless you're Johnny Cash or Frank Sinatra, you can't pull it off.
Yeah, it was really bad. So at first I was like, okay, they cut it short, but I'm not mad at that because it was bad. It was really bad. And that's one of the best villain songs of all time.
Yep.
And they screwed it up. That song in the original was so good you didn't know it was done by 2 people. Jeremy Irons sung the first part, but he couldn't hit the high note, so they got
they swapped them out.
Yeah, with voice actor does Goofy, very famous. I can't think of his name right now. Cummings something. But yeah, it's amazing that this guy could do that in the beginning, and they had Etewajal Chuyagum go and just talk his way through it, and to the point where they're like, yeah, let's cut this in half. And obviously they didn't want the imagery that they had in the original. It's like, well, we can't trust kids today. They're for some reason lame now. I don't understand why. They didn't mind the evil German guy imagery that they had in the first one and all that. I guess maybe they're trying to do the whole it's all relative thing.
Yeah, we can't make evil, German guy jokes, because that might imply we think positively about evil German guys, and therefore we can't do the imagery. Yep.
I like Derek saying maybe you should have tried singing without the gun to his head. Or we might get a third stream, but Eric Breen, so you didn't like, I did not like this film. I did not like it. Sam, I did not like it in a house. I would not like it with that little mouse that they added 5 minutes of him running around. I did not like it here or there. I would not like this anywhere. It was really, really bad. Absolutely bad. There's so much to say. So, okay. So they did get Beyonce to play Nala, and they had Donald Glover as Simba. And I was thinking, okay, well, that's cool, because I like Donald Glover. I'm a Community fan. I've seen his stand-up comedy. He's a funny guy. Saw some Atlanta. That's all right. He's good. He's a decent actor. So I was excited. Okay, cool. We're going to see Donald Glover as it. One of the things I'm not a big fan of is this Childish Gambini thing. Just, okay, glad if you are. It's just, I saw it and I'm like, he's okay at what he does. And I think he's okay. That's fine.
It's fine. Moving on.
So I'm going back to Can We Feel the Love Tonight, where you have both of them singing, and it's so obvious only one of them's a professional singer.
How are you being outclassed by Matthew Broderick of all people?
I know, right?
Like,
right?
Seriously.
And it was done. Matthew Broderick, it actually holds up better than Donald Glover on this. James Earl Jones, of course, is James Earl Jones. All hail the James. I'm telling you, he was awesome as Mufasa once again. Nothing bad to say about that.
Mother of the King.
I will.
Is the only thing that needs to be said.
You know what? Yeah. Oh, gosh. Wow. You know what? The Stampede, I even have to say, was better animated. It just felt more epic. Now the score is great. It's Hans Zimmer. It's basically the same score. This is really a shot for. They Gus Van Santed the heck out of this thing. If you don't know that reference,
the Psycho reference.
Yeah, Gus Van Sant filmed Psycho shot for shot, and this is a shot for shot remake as well. I've got a message that's held for review right now because it's got the BITCH word in it. Yeah. My whole thing was I'm not allowing bad language on this channel. So that's what happened. You know what? Here you go. There you go. I'll just show it. I think that's funny. That's the first time that's ever happened. Wow. Can you feel the love tonight? Yep. Who talked for Rafiki? Oh, it was the voice of Rafiki was Black Panther's father. The guy who played Black Panther's father in Civil War. He was fine, except they didn't give him the part where he hits him in the head with a stick.
In the past.
I guess so, because they aren't using it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was lost opportunity. I think it's one of the best character moments of the original cartoon. It's one of Rafiki's best moments. They did give him his karate moments with his stick with the hyenas at the end. I thought that was all right. They kept that in. Okay, here's something else. I liked Timon. I liked Pumbaa. And I can't believe I'm going to say this. I like John Oliver as
Zazu.
Zazu. I thought he did a fine job. Chiwetel, what's his name?
Ejiofor.
I think he did a great acting job. It was only the singing that he did poorly at. But my gosh, they had nothing. They had nothing to work with here. It was all bad. And like I said, the one of the biggest problems was this film's greatest strength, which was the CGI, worked so hard against it. It really worked hard against you. This is, I watched it and I was like, wow, this is a high school play. This really was. It felt like a high school play. It just felt amateurish.
What kills me is they didn't have to make these animals so expressionless, because if you actually look at like nature documentaries, for example, those animals in like nature documentaries and stuff do have expressions. Like there is emotional subtext you can read in their facial expressions and stuff. So why was none of that included here?
Well, my thinking is, of course, they wanted the picturesque. They wanted everything to be picture perfect. Where you may be looking at, is it CGI? Is it live? Whatever. And they're thinking, well, they could open their eyes a certain bit, but they can't do that big cartoon thing because it's not natural. You know what else isn't natural? Disney making a gosh darn Lion King CGI movie. You won't find a lot of lions standing around doing Shakespeare in the mothering park. It does not work. Okay, they're doing Hamlet. Let them be expressive, but they don't. It just what also, a mess.
While we're here, why was the entire movie a washed out sandy brown?
Yeah, I know, right?
Why was there why was there no color anywhere? I insist to know.
In a couple of scenes during the "Can I Feel the Love Today" song, it was okay. They had the waterfall, the green grass, fine. But when they were away from that, you're right. It looked like it either had a brown filter or a blue filter over it.
Well, but even the big opening number, the sunrise and everything, where was the vibrant red in that?
Yeah, it's what a mess of a film. This movie was a mess. Yeah. Now I was thinking, it started off with Alice. We got Alice in Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland 2. We have Cinderella. We had Maleficent, and what was it? Jungle Book. We had Dumbo this year. We had Aladdin this year. Beauty and the Beast, of course, was the one before those.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, none of them, except for the Jungle Book. I didn't mind the Jungle Book. I didn't love it, but I didn't mind it. If you put it on, I wouldn't ask to have it turned off. So I'm watching this and I'm asking myself, is Lion King the worst of the live action remakes? And in my opinion, yes, it absolutely is the worst of the live action remakes.
I wouldn't quite go that far. I think Maleficent was worse, and Aladdin was worse, and Dumbo was worse.
Oh, no way. Dumbo was not worse. Dumbo did what the Lion King should have. Dumbo changed the story enough where it was its own film. It was Tim Burton, so yeah, of course, it had the Tim Burton-esque kind of things to it. I like Dumbo a heck of a lot better than I did Lion King. I'll defend against that one. Maleficent, maybe you could argue with me, and I would go, okay, I could see your point. Don't agree, but I could see your point.
Well, aside from Angelina Jolie, there's nothing worth watching in that movie.
Maleficent, the one thing that I would, if you put like Maleficent is the opposite of the Dumbo. Dumbo changed things, and you know what? I might actually like that film. I gotta say, I gotta watch that again. It might actually be one I actually like, the Dumbo remake. But Maleficent changed things, and it was for the worst. Dumbo changed things; it was just to add to it. And so like I said, I think I have to watch it again though. It wasn't that bad.
The reason that I find Dumbo to be worse is because when I was younger, Tim Burton was one of my favorite directors.
Yeah.
And it pains me to see Tim on autopilot.
Oh, Tim's been on autopilot for 20 years.
It's the same problem I had with his Alice, because by rights that should have been a match made in movie making heaven, but it wasn't. And, I would say both of the Alice movies are worse. But aside, this one's just kind of in the middle there.
This is a video on its own, or a live stream on its own, where we get together and we're gonna hash out what do you think. We'll do the live action worst to best. Yeah. And just go through that, because wow. Christy's saying that Maleficent was a good movie, but she still needs to be evil, and we're gonna get another one coming up. So we did a video. Say again.
Hopefully they fix it.
Hopefully they do. We did a video talking about the trailer, so check that out if you haven't done it already. Christy's agreeing with me. Lion King's the worst. It nothing offended me. I gotta say that, at least. Of all the live action movies I watched, I may not have liked them, but nothing offended me. Lion King offended me. I think the laziness of it offended me.
See, again, I think the main reason is because Aladdin is, for whatever reason, fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
And Aladdin did offend me. I don't think this offended me. This didn't insult me. It just made me sad, whereas Aladdin, I felt insulted as someone who is both a fan of the original and Robin Williams and the actual folklore that Aladdin comes from. I was way more insulted by rapping Will Smith genie than I ever was by anything in this. At least everyone in there was doing something at least everyone in Lion King was doing something analogous to what they should have been doing, but I can't get past the bargain basement laziness that was Aladdin, because at least
this is worse as far as lazy. But in my opinion, we're talking about opinions here. But gosh, this was not good. Not good.
No, I'm not saying this is good. I would put this in the mid tier, right along with Jungle Book and Beauty and the Beast. Is where I would stick this. There's
a scene in this where a giraffe eats some of Simba's hair. He's eating leaves, and there's Simba's hair on.
Oh God, the hair scene.
And then we see a dung beetle carrying it. So they decided to spend time on a pooping giraffe.
It's like 3 minutes, by the way.
Yeah, it really is. It's like, you needed this to make the story longer? The freaking hell. Here's the thing. I understand Disney's the juggernaut now. They're basically half of all the entertainment you get because of all the things they own. But I really do believe that they said, we could put anything in this movie and people will watch it, and we're going to make $1 billion, and people are going to love it. And so they said, hey, I bet we can follow a piece of giraffe shit for 3 minutes, and people will watch this. And they did. And now I don't know what the numbers are yet. Haven't checked them, but I'll bet you money this movie is making money.
And this is why Beauty and the Beast was better than this movie, because at least the stuff they added in Beauty and the Beast was something that felt like it should be there and furthered the story to some extent or other. Whether it's adding stuff to what was already there or adding some new element that was interesting. But this literally took 3 minutes to follow giraffe crap.
Giraffe poop.
So,
yep.
Yeah. So be that as it may, after this movie.
It was, yeah. You know what? There you go. That I don't want this video to be long. I don't want this live stream to be too long. So yeah, I think we're going to end it there because there's just not much else to say. We could probably talk 30, 40 minutes if we haven't already about how horrible this film is. I do believe that that there is a live stream where we're ranking the live action movies. Or maybe we could go one by one and just explain why these movies are so freaking bad. The way that Venkman and Rob Zilla do Kicking It, we could do Kicking It Out and talk about the live action Disneys and why they're bad.
Here's the thing. Do we include live action remakes from a while ago, like 101 Dalmatians and that? Because that one is by far and away my favorite of these live action.
It was really good, but I don't know. I don't think so. And here's why. It would be kind of like they made Blade and they made the X-Men and they made all these movies, but they're not counted in the MCU.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I would just say
that makes some kind of sense.
I would say we count Alice in Wonderland is the start of them
because that's kind of where the downward spiral begins.
It's the Bob Iger Disney, I guess. I don't know. But point being is, I don't see the 90s as being a part of this at all.
And also it's not really fair to 101 Dalmatians, because 101 Dalmatians is actually a really, really good movie.
I would take one of those reelies off, but it's a good movie. And I'll tell you, Glenn Close kills it.
Kills it as Cruella de Vil.
She is amazing as Cruella de Vil. Maybe we could, because it's just so much fun to talk about. So yeah, anyway, so we're being told to pay attention to sports ball. Maybe we'll have more fun than watching the remakes. And I remember there is a sports ball remake called Angels in the Outfield that Disney did as well. But yeah, if we're going to be doing sports ball Disney movies, we could. I guess that would be fun as well. I'd be lying if I said I like
us knowing things about sports ball though, and I don't.
Well, I do actually. I know quite a bit about it. Alrighty. So anyway, guys, that's about all we have to say. Obviously, cannot recommend Lion King. What about you, Dalton?
I mean, like I said, there's nothing in this that was. No, because I would say there was nothing objectively objectionable to this, but then again, there's the 3 minutes of dung beetle shenanigans. So,
well, here you go. Here's the thought. Okay, say you're gonna go to Lion King. You're gonna bring your kids. It's gonna cost you about $25, maybe $30 just to get in, depending on when you go. You're gonna get popcorn and everything, or just leave it at the $30. You don't get popcorn. You tell your kids, shut up. We'll get something when you're done. And you go on into the theater, you watch the movie, you spent $30, you come out, you're not really satisfied. Or you buy the original movie on Blu-ray for $20, $25. Y'all sit around your house and just enjoy the film the way God and Disney intended it to be. Well, they intended this shit too, but you know what? Go with the first one.
Screw your intentions, Disney.
Yeah, this was so bad. It really was. So anyway, yeah. Sorry, gang. LOL. Right? Disno. Disney or Disno. Yeah. Anyway, guys, in the comments, thank you very much for keeping the conversation going. Dalton, thank you for joining me on this rant. And as always, Thank you very, very much for watching, and see you real soon.
Cheers, guys.